information.
In today's complicated world, we sometimes find ourselves in tough situations. Legal questions we don't know the answer to, or worse yet, legal questions we thought we understood and found out too late that we were wrong. If you find yourself in one of these tough situations, the Law Office of Redmond, Redmond & Yoakum has the answers and advice you need.
This is Attorney Danielle Redmond Street, and I frequently get asked the question, what is the difference between a will and a trust? Although both a will and a trust outline your wishes regarding who will inherit from you and who will serve as the administrator of your estate, a will is filed with the probate court, and the court oversees the administration. A trust is private and is handled outside the probate court process by a trustee. A trust, unlike a simple will, allows you more control and privacy even after you are gone.
If you're facing serious legal problems, call the Law Office of Redmond, Redmond & Yoakum. You can reach them at 276-0055.
The Law Offices of Redmond, Redmond & Yoakum. We ease your troubles. That's what we do.
590 KZO, Jay Morris Show, AccuWeather forecast. Snow falls, a little slippery. Self-extra time 31 right now in Kalamazoo. All right, talking about buying American. Mike, right?
Yep.
All right, Mike. So why don't people buy American?
Well, let's face it. We went through a phase in the early 80s into the 90s where American manufacturers had the attitude of, to hell with quality. This is what I built. Buy it or don't.
And we didn't. You're right.
Quality.
You're right.
If the quality was half the price of the American product, they should have taken the hint.
Yeah, but you look at the car companies, and that's a great example. Their quality came up tremendously by the mid and late 80s, and by the 90s, it was pound for pound, an American car is better than any foreign import at this point.
Right. We came up in the late 80s
because we had to.
But we went through a 20-year period where the Koreans and the Chinese, or the Koreans and the Japanese, kicked our butts.
Well, I agree with that.
And by then we lost market share, and it's going to take more than 20 years to, earn that loyalty back.
I just hope we have that long. That's my worry, Mike. Thanks for the call today.
Kalamazoo News, traffic and weather every weekday morning with Lori Moore. This is AM 590 WKZO, Kalamazoo.
CBS News. I'm Harley Carnes.
The outlook for the economy, the U.S. economy and the global economy, is getting pretty gloomy.
At Johnson Illington Advisors, Hugh Johnson, he's talking about Wall Street, took another tumble today on the recession declaration and other bad news. The Dow off 673 points. You can expect that to change a bit as things adjust. The NASDAQ off 135 points and the S&P lost 79. CBS News business reporter Alexis Christoforous.
Construction spending is now at a record low, and manufacturing at our nation's factories has slowed to the lowest level in 26 years. And it's not just here. We're seeing a slowdown in factories around the world, in China and the UK, which just points to a deep and long recession.
Oil prices came down, too, more than $5 lower at $49 and change per barrel. Recession. We have been in one for a while, according to one key group.
I'm Dan Raviv. The National Bureau of Economic Research, a private group respected when it sets dates for America's economic cycles, declares that the recession we're in began a year ago. There'd been 6 years of economic growth after 9/11, then a few months of leveling off, and now there've been job losses and other slowdowns all this year. Mark Zandi of Moody'sEconomy.com predicts,
in terms of jobs and incomes, the worst is yet to come.
A very rough 6 months ahead, then a pretty bad half year. In 2010, Zandi says things may get better.
And there are some other indications, of course, the recession will be around for quite a while to come. Barack Obama introduced his national security team today, subject, of course, to confirmation on Capitol Hill.
Now is the time for us to regain American leadership in all its dimensions.
His selection for Secretary of State is Hillary Clinton. Janet Napolitano would become Secretary of Homeland Security. Susan Rice would be UN ambassador. Only Robert Gates, to continue as defense secretary, would not face confirmation hearings. Terrorism in India is a message for the world, says Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice.
It's a war that we're all fighting together, because these extremists have gone after Americans, they've gone after British citizens, they've also, of course, killed more Pakistanis and Indians than anyone else.
She plans to go to India later this week. This new bunch of young people, it's a wacky generation, according to one new study.
A disturbing new study concludes that nearly half of all 18 to 24-year-olds have at least one psychiatric disorder.
The most common problems, Columbia researchers say, substance abuse and personality disorders. And this study in the archives of general psychiatry says only a quarter of young adults who have a problem seek treatment for it.
CBS News correspondent Barry Bagnato in Washington. A real Red Sox fan, taking his colors with him to his dirt nap. Massachusetts Funeral Home's taken delivery of its first Red Sox casket with a team logo. Eternal Image of Michigan actually has a licensing agreement with Major League Baseball. This is CBS News.